Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look, having an update on the tropics. We'll be having an update on Tropical Storm Isaias, which is now not expected to become a hurricane again, which I kind of expected that to happen due to some more wind shear there as well. We also have another disturbance to watch here. It's this one right here. We're going to keep an eye on that. And also, Tropical Depression 10 is now gone, so we don't have to worry about that system anymore. So it's now just these two here, and this here would be the next system to watch here. But first we'll talk about Tropical Storm Isaias. It's at 65 mile per hour winds, pressures at 995 millibars, moving north northwest at 8 miles per hour. So it's definitely slowed down a little bit. It was moving at a pace of 10 to 15 miles per hour for the past few days, and now it's just slowing down. Just a little bit, and it's just off the coast of Florida right now. If we go ahead and take a look into here, we're going to go ahead and let that load very quickly, but this is where the low is right now. So this is where your low is right now. I believe Fort Lauderdale is like right in there somewhere. I believe so. Just off from Fort Lauderdale, and it's getting pretty close to landfall. It's getting very close. So yeah, on that there. If we move back over it here, we're going to click on Isaias here. And let's take a look into their latest code forecast. And you can see here, we're not expecting this to become a hurricane, which is good news there. So those hurricane warnings that were in effect for Florida snapped been dropped to a tropical storm warning. So there's some good news there. But really, you got tropical storm warnings anywhere from kind of around Fort Lauderdale all the way up into a little past Wilmington, North Carolina, along with a tropical storm watch all the way up to the North Carolina Virginia state line there as well. And you can see the track here. It's going to get very close to the east coast of Florida, but then it will make landfall somewhere around Myrtle Beach there as well. And that may continue on to move northeast there, and it'll slowly die down as it goes over land. But I think the biggest story on this here is actually probably going to be the probably the amount of rain that could be falling. So there's going to be a flash flooding threat. This is the weather predictions that are here. You can see here, some of those rainfall amounts have been dropped. But you still have some high amounts, but anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain, anywhere from Charleston, South Carolina, kind of through Raleigh, and then into Maryland there. You also got a couple other spots kind of in eastern Pennsylvania, New York State, and Connecticut there. So we're going to uh, give it to keep an eye on the flash flooding threat. Although, let's take a look into their latest excessive rainfall outlook. So today, there's a slight risk for the Appalachian Mountains in South Carolina into Southwest Virginia. Then on day 2, which is tomorrow, this is when it starts to make landfall. We have a moderate risk for excessive rainfall for pretty much the entire east coast of South Carolina into central North Carolina, along with that slight risk extending as far north as Maryland. Then we go on day 3, we still have a moderate risk anywhere from central uh, North Carolina into eastern Virginia, along with that slight risk anywhere from the NC-SC state line all the way up into Maine. They're kind of on the east coast there as well. So I think that's going to be the biggest threat, although there will still be some gusty winds with this as well. And another threat with these tropical systems here that there will be tornadoes. So let's take a look into the SPC outlook. This is today. Now, one thing I want to mention about across the Northeast is that there's going to be a decent tornado threat. If we look into the tornado probabilities, you can see there's a 5% chance for a tornado in a 25-mile given point, which also includes New York City and Burlington, New Hampshire, or Vermont. Always get those backwards. But it also includes Northern New York State and even for portions of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. So that's one thing I want to know. Damaged winds is also there, but the hail threat will mainly stay back into the Rockies there. And here's day 2. This is when the tropical systems start to make landfall. You got a slight risk for severe weather anywhere from like Charleston, South Carolina, up to just east of Raleigh, which it also includes Wilmington and Myrtle Beach. Tornado for there could be a few tornadoes out there. Damage wind is kind of low end for it, but hail is unlikely as well. Then on day 3, you're gonna marginal risk pretty much anywhere from Myrtle Beach all the way up into Portland, Maine, on the East Coast. And primary threat with that will be gusty winds and maybe a couple of tornadoes there as well. So that's the SPC outlook here. So this is what's been looking like. Again, your low is right at here as right now. You have a lot of convection going on the north, just north of the low. And on my last video, whenever I talk about some of that new convection on the north side of the low, this is the same convection right here. So yeah, on that. Let's go back here. Let's take a look into the tracks for the hurricane models. You can see here there's a pretty good agreement of where it's going to be going. It looks like it may not make quite landfall on the Florida East Coast, although it will make landfall. I think it'd be a direct hit for Myrtle Beach and Wilmington there. Wilmington, North Carolina, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And passing Norfolk and Virginia Beach through New York, and even up into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine there as well. So that's your um, current track of it. Not really much any disagreement at all. And here's the intensity forecast. Highlight that will be going back to Category 1 hurricane due to some wind shear, and also the waters will be slowly cooling down. The water temperatures, as the further it goes north, uh, the cooler the waters will be. So you can see here the majority of the models take it down to tropical depression in the next pretty much 3 to 4 days. Really, that's when it gets up into Canada. So yeah, and ignore these models here, maintaining it to a tropical storm. Highly doubt that. I think we'll likely see that go down to tropical depression there as well. And I believe that's it from Isaias there. Let's go back here. Let's talk about this disturbance here that we got going on. So we still got a 60% chance in the next 5 days, but also a 40% chance in the next 48 hours. And someone mentioned on Twitter that it's slowly shifting west here with the track. So haven't really looked into it yet, but this is the European model. We'll have a better look of it. So here's your tropical wave right here. You can see how it kind of goes on. And keep in mind the European model has not been doing a good job here. So yeah, and then it just dies out really and just kind of stays stationary. It's still there. There'll probably be a post tropical depression there, and it seems like it kind of gets sucked into a different low pressure system later on. Let's see what the GFS perspective is, and that's probably more of a tropical depression or weak tropical storm with that. And you can see here, GFS showing is pretty much the same thing, although they are kind of right. It has shifted a little bit further to the west. You can see here, it seems like it's going to stay stationary there, and it seems like it kind of moves west, but again, just dies out over the waters. But we'll have to still keep an eye on that system there. I think it has a decent chance of becoming a tropical depression, probably more of a 70 to 80% chance of becoming a tropical depression. And I think tropical storm status is going to be very low, and really the chances, I think it's going to still be more of a fish storm, but things could change from there for that disturbance. But anyways, guys, this is all I can for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this tropical update. If you guys would like this tropical update, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put a comment section down below. I will answer your guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.